In the first half of the 21st century, the world of science needed a guinea pig. That guinea pig was a man. For 40 days and 40 nights, this man has given up his ordinary life. He has scoured the horoscopes from 20 astrologers. His task? To follow their advice, to ignore speculation, prediction and guesswork, but at all times to follow instructions and pursue luck. Is this a wise way to live one's life? That is what we're about to discover. This is the human laboratory. This is Dave Gorman's important astrology experiment.
My name is Dave Gorman, I'm a Pisces, and welcome to the second part of my important astrology experiment. Throughout the course of our experiment, I have rigorously obeyed my horoscopes. My twin brother, our control experiment, has ignored his. Whose life is the happiest? That's the question we're asking. To answer it, we have to measure happiness. To do this, we have an astrologically balanced jury of juries here, 12 groups of 12 people, each comprising one of each and every star sign. To guide them, we have a panel of 3 experts in the fields of love, health and wealth, 3 of the finest minds of their generation. When we left you last week, our graph was looking like this. I am comfortably in the triangle of delight. However, that was on day 6. There are 34 days to go. Nick, are you ready?
Ready.
Panel, are you ready?
Ready.
Jury of juries, are you ready?
Ready.
Then let the experiment begin. On day 7, astrologer number 11, Mystic Meg, wrote,
Destiny has the same name as a soap star.
Which is odd. Because a character called Dave Gorman has appeared in a soap opera before. If you don't believe me...
Hello, this is Dave Gorman.
Dave. Nice to meet you, Dave.
Dave Gorman.
However, Mystic Meg didn't say the same name as a soap character. She said the same name as a soap star. What's his name? Cameron MacDonald. I had to meet someone with the same name as Cameron MacDonald. However, Hilary Todd, astrologer number 15, also writing on day 7, said,
Have a look in that old barrow. You might just find your destiny.
Astrology had told me that my destiny had the same name as a soap star, but it was also telling me that I might find that destiny in an old barrow. I knew that I had to find someone called Cameron MacDonald, a tall order, but I also knew that I should find him in an old barrow. Which old barrow did it mean? I knew a barrow that was over 800 years old, quite possibly the oldest barrow in Britain. Yes, it was a tall order, but this was a big barrow. I found a Cameron MacDonald. I went to meet my destiny. This man was my destiny.
Hi, my name's Cameron MacDonald. I'm a line dancer schoolboy and I'm a Pisces.
Yes, my destiny was a line dancing schoolboy. What he did that day, I did. Where he went, I followed.
Like for me?
Of course. Okay. You can see I'm not very good. But I didn't really mind. It was just Cameron and me after all, and I knew he understood because he was my destiny. But then other people started to appear and life started to get a little bit more embarrassing. It is ridiculous, isn't it? Most of these people line dance on a weekly basis, Here I am on my first day, and I appear to be the only one who can clap in time. I tried to blend in with the crowd. I tried not to draw attention to myself. Pretty soon, that was going to be impossible. The musician, Paul Bailey, announced that the next dance was The Beast. As the name suggests, not many people can do The Beast. Cameron MacDonald, the line-dancing schoolboy, can.
Everybody get on your feet. Clap your hands and feel that beat. There's a brand new rhythm out on that floor. Ain't nobody sitting fell. Hey, come on and take a chance. Put on your boots and fancy pants and dance.
I took on The Beast, and I only got away with it because a 9-year-old boy was there to help. But day 8 came, and with it, fresh instruction. Astrologer number 11, Mystic Meg once more.
Luck links you to a contest based on recognizing bits of music.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Could I possibly secure a spot as a contestant on Michael Barrymore's My Kind of Music? Of course I couldn't. What I could do, however, is listen to the radio, spin the dial, wait for any kind of music quiz to get a mention, and have my phone ready. Before you see this, I would just like to say I'm genuinely, really impressed with the technical team here. It's one thing having my side of the conversation on record, but some quick thinking, some quick phone calls, a confused receptionist and a motorcycle courier mean that we are able to show you some not very high-quality security camera footage from the radio studio.
Right, let's go to line 1. This is Dave.
Hello.
Hello, Dave. Where are you calling us from?
I'm in my car.
OK, and if you've won spiritualised tickets, whereabouts would you want to go and see them?
Are they in London?
In London, OK. So here we
can
go.
arrange
We're
it,
going to
yeah.
play this clip. It's a filthy old tramp tanked up on spirits, but are the lyrics spiritualised or are they another spirit-related song? Here we go.
There we go.
Never been a sin, never been a sinned. I've got a friend named yourself. Jesus, hell.
So is that spiritualised or not?
Come on, you're milking it.
No, it's not.
It's
You think
not.
it's not? Let's have a listen. It wasn't spiritualised, it was in fact Norman Greenhow. So well done, you win yourself a copy. You win yourself Right, next up, this is Sarah on line 8.
Can I have a signed photo? Let's see how these 2 days have affected the figures. Nick, you have your diary with you. How did you fare on days 7 and 8?
I was working the day shift on both the days. Trace was working nights, so I put the kids to bed, and I managed to go for a run on both days.
OK, well, before the jury of juries cast their votes, we have to see what our experts make of the event so far. Please remember, we're using the metric pleasure decimal gladness system. Each unit of happiness is equal to £1 sterling. That's about 1.7 euros. Our expert in love is Denise Robertson. Denise, how are we doing in the realm of love and friendship?
Well, I so much do not want to sit here every week rubbishing what you're doing, but there is a distinct lack of feminine company. What am I supposed to comment on?
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please, cast your love votes now. Remember, you have to vote for me before you vote for the control experiment. It's very important. Let's hear from our health expert, Dr. Hillary. Hillary.
Your brother Nick, he's working out every day regularly, but I just wonder whether it's becoming a bit of a dull routine for him. Now, you went line dancing. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Great fun. So I approve of that wholeheartedly.
OK. Ladies and gentlemen, cast your health votes now. OK, while the computer gets all that in order, let's hear from our financial whiz kid, Alvin Hall. What are the facts?
The fact is your brother spent nothing. I'm a bit worried about him because I think he's coming across as cheap. You, on the other hand, spent money to drive up to Furnace. You also won a CD. You ended up with a net of £19 profit.
OK, let's see how the figures add up for days 7 and 8.
Love plus health plus wealth equals happiness.
Well, there you go. It is only 2 days. For love, you've awarded me 46 points. Nick, he's got 35. For health, you've awarded me 30 points. Nick scores 73. I suppose he did exercise twice to my one line dancing experience. It's looking quite close. As you can see, I am 95 happy. However, our control experiment here shows that if I had ignored my horoscopes, I would have been 108 happy. So, following astrology is responsible for losing me 13 happiness points. Well, it's a loss, but it's not a big one. Let's see how that changes the graph. It's close. We're in the void. We can't draw any conclusions one way or another. Now, on day 9, things got off to a healthful start when astrologer number 15, Hilary Todd, wrote,
"You may be feeling fitter, but it isn't a gift. If you want to stay fit, you've got to keep fit."
Now, throughout the experiment, when I tell you what the astrologers have written, I know that you know I'm telling the truth. They are all real horoscopes written by real astrologers on the days in question. But the next horoscope concerns me. It was written in the Daily Mirror, a national newspaper with approximately 1 million readers. That's over 83,000 Pisceans. On day 9, this was Jonathan Caner's message for over 83,000 people.
Stand on one leg, place a bowl of cereal in your left hand and a tangerine in your right. Balance 3 books on your head and jump up and down.
He hadn't finished.
Sing the national anthem backwards and jump into a bucket of water.
There's more.
While still on one leg, peel the tangerine and flick the segments into the bowl one at a time.
I know that some of you think we've made this up. So here is a copy of the Daily Mirror from day 9 of my experiment. Here is Jonathan Caner's column. It's all there, word for word. My first thought was that maybe, somehow, Jonathan Caner had discovered our experiment. Did he know the world of astrology was under scrutiny? Was he trying to embarrass me, to call my bluff, to make me stop the experiment? If so, what has he got to hide? I didn't know what to do. I was confused. Jonathan Caner's assignment left me feeling overwhelmed. But then, I read my horoscope according to number 7, Duncan Expose.
Some sort of assignment could have you feel overwhelmed. Take the task one step at a time, and soon it will be accomplished.
That was all I needed to know. He was right. There was nothing to stop me completing the task. I needed to get a few things, a bowl of cereal, a tangerine, and I'd be off. But on the same day, astrologer number 14, Michael Thiessen, wrote,
"Buy yourself a gift today. Be sure it's something shamelessly expensive, though, and shock those who have the idea you are miserly."
1995. It's not quite shamelessly expensive. 84.95.
84.95.
25 quid for a cereal bowl. That's more like it. Bit shameless, that'll show them. So now I had what I needed, and I knew what I needed to do. But where to do it? On day 9, the same day, number 16, Gordon Vincent wrote,
"Nothing can embarrass you today. Don't hide away from the crowds."
So I went to a public place. A very public place. I went to Covent Garden, where I would take this task one step at a time. Let's see how I did.
Stand on one leg. Place a bowl of cereal in your left hand. And a tangerine in your right.
Yes, bring it on.
Balance 3 books on your head.
Take that, Caner.
Jump up and down. sing the national anthem backwards.
Queen gracious, our safeguard, Queen noble, our live long Queen, the safeguard.
Jump into a bucket of water. Peel the tangerine.
And finally,
Flick the segments into the bowl, one at a time.
yes.
Thank you.
That showed you, Kana. You can't make me look stupid. On day 10, I think you can guess who was the first astrologer I would be reading. He may have led me a merry dance on day 9, but what would he have to say for himself now?
Are you still being led a merry dance? How can you tell? The best manipulators are subtle. The source of your current confusion, though, is not so well disguised.
Am I still being led a merry dance? Yes, I am, Jonathan. How can I tell? Because I'm reading your horoscope. The best manipulators are subtle. Don't flatter yourself, chum. I know exactly what you're up to. The source of my current confusion is not so well disguised. No, it looks remarkably like Jonathan Kana.
Despite what you think or fear, you are under no obligation to comply with any request.
Well, that's where you're wrong, Jonathan so-called Kana. Do you know nothing about science? I am under every obligation to obey every instruction laid down in my horoscope. How else are we supposed to discover the truth behind astrology? You may have tried to scare me off the day before with your tangerine nonsense, but it didn't work, and now you're trying the direct approach. You don't want a scientist like me examining astrology. Well, it's tough, because I am. Whatever the astrologers tell me to do, that's what I do. Which is why, on day 10, when number 15, Hilary Todd, wrote...
Life can sometimes be confusing. Take time out tonight to think about it.
I did exactly that. And as I sat in that night, I thought about Jonathan Kana. How could he possibly have known about this experiment? It just wasn't possible. However, on day 11, I woke to find that astrologer number 6, Jonathan Kana, had written this.
What are you doing, sitting there reading your horoscope?
What does he mean? What am I doing sitting there reading my horoscope? How does he know these things? How does he know that at the exact moment I was reading that, I was reading my horoscope? What am I doing sitting there reading my horoscope? What's he doing sitting there writing things like, what are you doing sitting there reading your horoscope? Well, that's what I'd like to know. Why bother to write them if you don't want people to read them? And if you are going to write that, then surely those 9 words would do. But oh no, no, he goes on.
Stand to attention when I'm talking to you. Come along, look sharp. There, that's better.
How can he see me? How does he know these things?
Consider yourself a soldier, fighting for the dignity of Pisceans. For too long, the enemy has been riding roughshod over your territory.
The enemy? Who's the enemy? Is it Aries? Is it Virgo? He doesn't say. Soldiers, enemies, stand to attention. Is he having a nervous breakdown? Fortunately, other astrologers were making more sense that day. For instance, astrologer number 8, Kelly Fox, who wrote...
If you're artistic, engage your talents for your individual voice or style.
No mention of the enemy from Kelly. No stabber Capricorn there, was there? No. But it was pretty clear from her horoscope that I should be expressing myself artistically. But in what medium? Well, on the same day, astrologer number 1, Astrola, said the day was...
Good for dealing with oils and liquids.
So I knew it should be a painting. But what colours should I use? Number 19, Webb Wombat, had this to say.
Auspicious colours are burgundy and camel.
So I knew what colours to use. But should I do this painting at home No. Astrologer number 15, Hilary Todd, wrote...
Take to the stage.
So I knew I had to paint. I knew what colours I had to use, and I knew the kind of place I had to be in. But what should I paint? Russell Grant, number 9, offered the following.
Instead of straining for ideas, dip into your liberal store of night visions.
I knew that I should paint whatever was in my dreams. I knew exactly what I had to paint. For the last few nights, I'd been dreaming about one thing, and one thing only. Jonathan Caner. This is Jonathan Caner. Keep that image in your heads. That's the image I was trying to paint in burgundy and camel. I knew what I had to do. I got all the equipment together. Then all I needed was a stage. Anyway, that's another 3 days covered. Nick, you've kept a diary. What did you get up to on days 9 through 11?
Yeah, I worked out in the gym on day 9 and day 10. I took Amy to the Wacky Warehouse, and I did play the guitar as well every day.
OK.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say I'm particularly confident. Love and friendship, Denise.
I've watched this spectacle of one brother with almost the perfect life, and the other brother, no sign yet of any love, any feminine interest, but I think, and Hilary may disagree with me, I think you're cracking up. And no, it's not funny, and nothing arouses passion in a woman like pity. And I think, no, I'm serious, she is going to come and rescue you. That is your way out.
Well, it feels harsh, but I know it's fair. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please, cast your love votes now. Hilary, how's my health?
Well, Denise thought you're cracking up, and I disagree. I think you have cracked up. Let's face it, if you were, what you were doing in that public place, had a policeman happened by and you'd said, a little voice told me to do this, your destiny could have been in some kind of institution. I think you had to be very careful indeed. But you did go to the gym, and if you'd eaten the tangerine and had the cereal, that would have been great.
OK, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard the doctor. Cast your health votes now. Now, Alvin, the financial side of things, how have we fared?
85 pounds for a cereal bowl? Was this an Elton John moment? What's wrong with you? According to all the numbers, the paint, the tangerine, the bucket, 285 pounds you're down. Nick spent 4 pounds.
4 pounds, OK.
Confirming that he is cheap.
OK, well, it's clearly not been a great few days for me. Let's see how the figures add up.
Love plus health plus wealth equals happiness.
Ooh. As you can see, these 3 days have left me unhappy to the tune of 445 points. Minus 445. But, Nick, our control experiment reveals that without following my horoscopes, I would have been 246 points happy. Which means that the net effect on my happiness has actually been a loss of 691 points. OK, you're a tough lot. Let's see how that affects the graph. No, stop! Ah! Oh. Minus 453, which is 13 points into the triangle of gloom after 11 days. I'm not happy. No, I'm actually... Camilla, can you... Sorry. Can you just get the painting? It's in my dressing room. It's on the wall. Because like those votes. OK, look, what you've done there is you've not given art any value. I'm suggesting that art has value. Alvin, I think that your figures would say that the painting cost me around, is it £46?
About £46.
£46, OK. That's what this cost me to make. And it's cost me 46 points as a result. But we haven't given it any value. When I won concert tickets and a CD, I made money because I earned something of value. Now, this here, have you got a pen, please? Can I have a pen? OK, thank you. This is an exciting new work by an exciting new artist. It is signed. And I am prepared to sell this tonight for at least £13, because that's enough to put me back, at least in the void, and I am serious. Am I being told? Oh, all right. Oh, no, I am serious. This is for sale for £13 by auction. Is there anyone here prepared? OK, we have someone at the front there, a Taurian in the purple there. I'm looking for £20 if people are serious. OK, the man in the red shirt, £20. 21, OK. Let's be serious now. I'm looking for 50. Looking for 50. We've got 50. 70. 70, OK. Someone's being very serious. £100 at the back. Are you really serious? OK. Anyone here prepared to bid 150? 140. Is there anyone here prepared to bid 175? Anyone at all? We've got 175 over there. OK, no, seriously. Is there anyone here prepared to bid £200 for this painting? £200. OK, it's sold to the Capricorn with the glasses at the back there. What's your name, mate? Mark. OK, seriously, this is coming up to you now. Mind your heads, people. This is yours. You get this to take home. I'll sort out the money with you later. I want a handshake on that, OK? There you go. That's a contract in front of all these people. £200? That painting, we've just proved it, had a market value of £200. That's 200 points that weren't on our graph. And I'm hoping that the people upstairs are working the computer as quickly as I'm working my head. And this is going to work when I press the button. Because that is what our graph looked like according to your votes and Alvin's calculations. But now we have an extra 200 points to add on. I really hope this works. Go on! Get in there! Yes! I may be below zero. I'm not in the triangle of delight, but at least I'm not in the triangle of gloom. I'm in the void. The effect of astrology appears to be negligible. But that is only 11 days in. There are still 29 days left to examine. And you can see how the experiment continues in part 3 of my important astrology experiment next week. Good night. £850.
You must be insane!
That is ridiculous.
You felt humiliated, you felt guilty and dirty. Stressful.
You look lovely in rubber.
Really stressful.